Hello and welcome back to another episode of Everything Imaginable with the Hackley Public Library. I am Christina LeVay Rowland, the Outreach Programming Librarian.
And I am Mallory Metzger, the Community Engagement Coordinator here at Hackley Public Library.
Today we're going to do something, it could be fun, it could be infuriating, we'll see. We're going to talk about library and librarian stereotypes.
Yes. And there are several.
Oh, there are quite a few.
Yeah.
Actually, we might even be able to extend this to like library employee stereotypes. Because not everyone who works at a library is a librarian. There's one of the stereotypes right there.
That's actually very true. Mm-hmm. I mean, to be a librarian, you have to go through pretty extensive schooling. You have to get, your master's in library science, if I'm correct. Christina here is a librarian. I am not. And I can't tell you, there have been many times when someone will come up and they'll say, oh, you're a librarian. I'm like, well, actually, no, not technically. I work at a library, I do marketing, but I'm not actually a librarian here at the library.
But I do want to go on record stating none of us mind that everyone gets called a librarian. Like, the goal is that we're here to help you, and if we do that, there we go.
Then it's all good.
We're happy.
Yep. Then we've really served our purpose as staff in general.
Exactly. I just think it's funny that is sort of like the number one stereotype. Mm-hmm. Everyone who works in a library, librarian.
Librarian, yes. So, but there are so many different, roles that people play.
Yes.
And they also have specific things that they're really good at. And so something that a librarian would really be great at is helping to find information. Not everyone is as, tuned in with that, but we're always, really excited to help and try to, find things for people in any way possible.
And one of the coolest parts about working with fellow library people is that they're always willing to learn. So even if there is something that like a librarian knows how to do through schooling or whatever, like that doesn't mean we can't share that information and teach other people how to do that well, as well.
Right. No, and that's true. And I've learned a lot from you, from Molly, from all of my fellow staff who are librarians, and kind of learned the ins and outs of certain things to be able to help find resources and navigate tools better for patrons. So it's kind of a win-win.
Should we start with the library staff stereotypes, or should we start with library stereotypes?
Maybe just library in general stereotypes. We can kind of start with those.
Yes. So I think the number one library stereotype is that they only have books.
Yes, that's true. Oh my gosh.
I hear that all the time.
Yes, and this is it's a common misconception. And understandably, people, when they think of a library, you automatically think of books. Oh, books are great. We love books.
Yeah.
However, in our day and age, libraries are so much more than that. We have amazing programs. We have fantastic resources like public computers. You can come and use a public computer. You can print materials at Hackley Library. The first 20 pages are free each day, actually, which is a great resource. We have free Wi-Fi.
Yep.
You can use your own device when you come to the library. You don't need to use one of our public computers. Also to check out, we have DVDs.
Yes.
Which is amazing. And a great selection, I might add.
And Blu-rays.
Yes, it's true. And for those that still use CD players, which I actually love, I still have my CD collection, and I won't ever get rid of it. But we do have CDs that you can borrow from the library, which is really great. We have puzzles in our puzzle exchange.
That's right. We don't talk enough about our puzzle
exchange.
We don't.
And I have to say, I walked by it recently. It is fully stocked.
Yeah. So come on in and get a puzzle.
Exactly. And you can take it home. You can enjoy it. You don't have to bring it back. You can if you want, but you can keep it, and you can always donate more puzzles to our puzzle exchange.
Yep. We also have a brand new-ish library of things.
Yes, that's true.
A whole keyboard, tools, all kinds of cool stuff. So yeah, libraries are not just books anymore.
Yeah, and also programs. Keep in mind we have a great variety of programs for all ages to enjoy. We have music, we have art classes, we have lectures. We have so many things that can appeal to any audience.
Some excellent history programs.
Yes.
I love those. Like, I was never really like a history nerd growing up or anything, but as I've gotten older, I don't know, they say that happens as you get older, you start getting into history.
Right.
It's true, apparently.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like there are certain things that I didn't necessarily have an interest in as a kid, and it's totally true. You know, your interest can change over, the course of several years. Some stay the same, but sometimes you do get more interested in historical elements, and it's so cool to come to a program at the library because it's free. You don't have to pay. You don't have to, pay admission at all. You can come and just really have fun learning new things.
Yes, that's true. Which kind of leads to another stereotype that libraries are boring.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Really?
Not at all.
No. All that cool stuff we just listed, of course, we're not boring. We're very fun.
Never be boring. Always hip and fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Another common stereotype we hear is that libraries are quiet.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't
to be
talk in the
quiet.
library.
No.
We get that a lot. Parents will walk in with their kids and they'll be like, we have to be quiet, we're in the library. And then, of course, the staff are being loud.
Yeah.
I'm loud, let's just be honest.
Which is a good thing. It's good to be vibrant. It's good to have energy. And we love that at the library. I mean, of course, there are always, policies to follow.
Correct.
When it becomes, obstructive or too loud, that's one thing. But just talking, having fun, enjoying the space, enjoying what's going on, we encourage that.
Yeah, like a normal volume for
Yes.
your conversation is totally fine.
Exactly.
We're not gonna stop you from talking to your friends and family.
Yeah. And we really do want to make sure that when kids, come in at a young age, to enjoy the library and to not feel like it's someplace that they have to be guarded. They can really explore,
Yes.
they can have
Yes.
fun.
Be themselves.
Be themselves.
Yeah,
Yep.
I agree. Another stereotype, this is kind of funny, it's coming after that one, is that libraries are only for kids.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot.
Yep. So something that I've noticed sometimes with other libraries, just generally speaking, not even in Michigan, just all over, a lot of times summer reading programs, for example, are
Yes.
geared more towards kids.
Yes, yes.
And adults are kind of left out of that conversation. And that's such a shame
I know.
because libraries are for every age, whether it be enjoying programs, whether it be enjoying the books, the DVDs, the music, the resources. It's for everyone. And our summer reading program, for example, is geared towards everyone. We have great prizes for kids, teens, and adults. So,
Yes.
it's important for people to know that, like you mentioned, the library is for everyone. It's not just geared towards kids, it's for every audience.
Yep, that's true. It is kind of fascinating to me, though, how much I still hear people say that. Like, they'll come up to the desk, and we have little flyers sitting out that talk about our programs, and they'll see one, and it says it's for adults, and they're kind of like, oh, this is for adults? Like, I thought that only kids could go to programs, and it's like, no.
It's like,
Join
actually, not.
we
That
have
is
something
false.
for everyone.
And in a sense, it's kind of like, oh no, like, it's sad
know.
that people still think that or they don't know, but at the same time, it's good that at least they know now.
Yes.
And that's always a wonderful thing to be able to kind of enlighten someone with, what we offer and what's going on at the library.
Yeah, and if you ever have any questions about something like that, you can always talk to any of us. I think another stereotype that I have heard is that anyone who's sitting at the desk, like, you can't interrupt them. That is not true.
Right.
Come on up, interrupt us.
Yeah.
That is why we're here.
That's
we're
what
here
we're
for
here
you
for.
first.
Exactly. Yes.
Another stereotype that I discovered is you can't have food or drinks.
Right.
Now, this depends on the library.
It does.
Yep.
Yes.
Because, for example, we do not allow food at the library, but we do allow covered drinks. So you can bring in a beverage. Like, we understand what goes best with books, coffee.
Right.
We're not going to deny anybody their coffee as long as it's in a covered container. Bring it on in.
Exactly.
But please don't bring your cheeseburger.
Yes, that is not a good idea. You can, and since it's getting warmer outside, you can always enjoy your food outside in Hackley Park.
Yes.
Enjoy it in the surrounding area. But when you come into the library, best to just have your covered beverage.
Yes, exactly. And you can have your picnic in the park with our Wi-Fi
Yes.
because it extends halfway into the park.
Which is another great thing that we offer. Yes, having the Wi-Fi available in Hackley Park to about halfway through. So it's a good extensive area that you can enjoy Hackley Library's Wi-Fi outdoors.
So technically, you're still enjoying the library
Yes.
even when you're outside. So
Sure.
win-win.
Yes.
A couple others is that libraries are full of dull colors and drab decor. That was offensive.
Yes.
That I saw that. And that they smell like old books, which, sometimes is true.
Sometimes there's truth to that. However, the smell of books can be very enjoyable. A lot of
Yes.
people love the smell of books, whether they're new books or old books. It's actually a great scent.
I'm one of those people. I like both the smell of an old book or a new book. Yeah.
Nostalgia for the old books and just kind of excitement for the new books.
Yeah, I'm a little weirdo though. I do like the way paper smells in general. So
Interesting. Oh,
books are made of paper. So.
that's true.
So that's what I have for library stereotypes. Actually, I don't know if this is considered a stereotype, but it is definitely a misconception. We get a lot of people who come in and ask us, how much does a library card cost?
Yes. Or like, how much is a membership?
Yes.
A lot of times people will, kind of reference having a library card as a membership.
Which is kind of fun.
Which is interesting. Yeah, it's kind
Feels
of
very elite.
It's a fun way to mention it, but it is free to get a library card. All you need as an adult is a valid state ID or driver's license that has your most current address.
Yep, correct.
And it's free, and it's very simple. The process to get a library card, it can take like 5 to 10 minutes depending, but it is so worth it. You don't have to pay anything, and you can save thousands of dollars,
It's true.
honestly, with borrowing materials.
Yep, that is true. So now let's go to librarian and library staff stereotypes.
Okay.
I think one of the main ones that I hear all the time is that we wear cardigans and sweaters.
Yes.
And you know what? It's true.
Yes. Here is a prime example. But you know what? Who doesn't love a good cardigan or sweater? I feel like a lot of times that's what I wear.
Vest, as
Or
we just
vest.
learned
Yes.
from one of our coworkers, Jim. He loves a good vest.
Yes, with a nice pattern. Sometimes a solid color to, go well with, your other shirt that you're wearing.
Exactly. He
very
always looks
stylish.
very fashionable.
Yes,
I
yeah.
don't know if he would say that, but I think he looks fashionable.
Yeah, compared to probably how I dress, he's very fashionable. I'm very casual. Not afraid to admit it, but
There's nothing wrong with cash.
Very true. Very true.
One of the stereotypes I read is that librarians wear pearls.
Oh.
I like pearls, don't get me wrong,
yeah.
I do, but I've never really owned a set, and I don't know if I've seen many people wearing pearls on the regular.
So I have a pearl necklace. I actually haven't worn that in a while. I do, however, wear pearl earrings
I was just gonna
all
ask.
the time. So ironically, I'm not wearing them now. I'm wearing teapots, but
That's cute.
Isn't that cute? Yeah.
I didn't even notice that at first. Are they both teapots
They
or
are.
is one cute?
They're both teapots, yes. Cute. But I often actually do wear pearl earrings. I think it's a classic look. It's elegant.
Fascinating.
So
maybe there's some truth to it.
I think there's some truth to that.
I love that. The other thing, of course, is all librarians and library staff wear glasses.
Yes.
Specifically horn-rimmed.
It's a prerequisite to become a librarian or a library staff member.
You get hired and they hand you your cardigan and your glasses.
And your glasses.
And apparently your pearls.
Yes, your pearls. If you have pierced ears.
Right.
Yeah.
And apparently all library staff own cats.
Oh, that's interesting. I've often seen the correlation of books and cats. It's not often that I see dogs and cats as like a theme, whether it be with memes or with pictures. It's always cats.
Books and cats.
Books and cats.
Well,
yeah.
actually, there are entire book series featuring cats as like the detectives.
Yes.
Or they like help the main detective.
Yep.
I think that's pretty cool.
That is kind of cool.
It's kind of cute.
I mean, I love cats, so that
Yeah.
I would find that really
See,
cute.
you love cats. I feel like there are actually a lot of people who work here that either have a cat or love cats.
It's true, actually, because when we had our relatively recently scavenger hunt in the youth department, it was for cats. I think it was during the Happy New Year, so actually it wasn't so recent. It was in January.
We just talked about how time
flies.
is not real.
Yeah, no, it flies by. But yeah, a lot of staff had their cats featured in the scavenger hunt, and it was fun. It was fun to see them all.
That's really cute.
They are darling.
So again, maybe there's some truth to that one.
There might be.
Another stereotype is that all librarians are women.
Oh, yeah.
That's not true.
That's not true at all. Yeah, it's actually a great mixture, and it's really cool to see that everyone, so many people have an interest in library studies and being a librarian or being a library worker. We have a great mixture of people at the library.
I agree. So that one debunked, not true.
Not true.
Let's see. Librarians and library staff are socially awkward or nerdy. I don't think that's true either.
No.
I mean, I am nerdy though, I will be honest. I am a nerd, and that's okay. I'm proud of it.
No, I mean, I I'd say for me, I'm kind of unique as a person, and I love it. So
nice.
I don't think there's anything wrong with being you and whoever you are. I think having a stereotype like that, it definitely is a stereotype that's not true, because I don't think you can really define a person, based on this or that. I think everyone is who they are, and it adds something
and
to...
it should be celebrated.
Exactly. Yeah, it should be celebrated.
Apparently all library staff drink tea.
I love tea. So that one, for me, is true. I drink tea every day.
I'm more of a coffee drinker.
Yes.
But I thought it was interesting that apparently, according to the internet, I should say, I got a lot of these stereotypes from the internet.
Well, and we all know everything on the internet is true, right?
Absolutely, 100% factual,
but of
not.
course. Yeah, never mind, not at all. No.
There were always shushing or glaring.
Yes. And I don't think that's true at all. I mean, I can only speak for, people who work at Hackley and people who work at libraries that I've been to, but it's always, friendly demeanors. We are happy to see you. We want you to come into the library.
And we love what we do.
Exactly. Yeah, we have a good time with it. We wouldn't be here if we didn't enjoy it. So, our intention would never be to glare and definitely not to shush,
Although I have been shushed in a library by patrons because I am loud.
I remember you saying that before. I thought that was hilarious.
Little badge of honor there.
Yes. I love it.
Apparently all librarians wear their hair up in a bun.
Which is
the memo today.
Yeah, it's not true, because there are so many librarians that I know that don't. Me, I do wear my hair up a lot, but not because of any reason. It's just easier. Keeps the hair out of my face. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, this one is you're gonna love this one.
I am.
All librarians are sour-faced old maids or spinsters.
Oh yeah, okay. I've heard that one before.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty harsh.
Yeah.
That's kind of like yikes.
That might dang.
I know. It's not true. Again, at least for the people that we know that work in libraries. I don't really know where that one started. I'd actually be very curious to know what the reasoning was behind that, like where that idea started. Obviously it had to have started somewhere, but how did it get carried on?
It felt very specific and very targeted when I saw that.
Very specific, yeah.
Sour-faced old maids. Dang.
Yeah, they sound like they're unhappy, which is definitely not the case.
No, that's not true.
No.
The last one I have is that they are organized, fussy, or particular. And you know what?
Interesting.
Sometimes that can be true.
Yeah.
In my case, I'm not a very organized person like myself. That doesn't mean I can't organize information or books. Right. It just means, my own desk is a disaster.
Right. There are priorities. Yeah. And sometimes, organizing a desk is not one of them, but organizing information, research, things to do with work tasks, that is a priority, and I think, we do pretty well with that.
Yeah, and I know where everything is on my desk.
Exactly.
Even if it's a mess to other people.
Yeah.
Are there any other librarian or library staff stereotypes that you can think of? Before I move on to the last thing I have.
Those kind of covered the majority of, what I've heard, kind of in passing of, the being boring or being dull or not having fun. Mousy, yes.
Awkward.
Yeah, which, again, that might have been more common back in the day, or maybe it's always been an unrealistic stereotype.
Yeah.
Again, it's kind of hard to know where these things specifically started. They're commonly known.
That's true.
These are all pretty common stereotypes that people have heard about.
That's true.
But it's interesting just to see the dynamic that we have at our library and at other libraries that I've been to. It just doesn't fit the mold, with these stereotypes. It's something that I think we've kind of come a long way with trying to, showcase to people, hey, we're a fun place. We're not what you might think of as a library. And I think that's the most important thing, is just to kind of keep people informed about what they can enjoy and how it's a fun space.
Yeah, that's true. The last thing that I discovered when I was, pulling up these fun stereotypes is how librarians are portrayed in pop culture.
Oh.
So some, I'm going to call it famous, librarians. I came across Giles from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay.
It was the TV show.
Okay, yep.
He was her I don't remember what he was called. He's like her guardian or something like that. Her watcher, I think is what it is.
Okay.
But he works at the school where she attends because she's a teenager who fights vampires and, saves the world.
As teenagers do.
Yep. So who's going to give her the information she needs? A librarian.
Of course.
Yeah. And of course, he is kind of portrayed as being like, nerdy or boring or whatever. But then, of course, later on, it's revealed he has this whole like other side to him where he goes by the name Ripper. And then he's like, he can like fight and stuff like that.
Whoa.
Yeah, but apparently he has to like change his name in order to have this persona. It's kind of an interesting dichotomy that they went for.
Yes, that is curious.
There's Evelyn from the Mummy franchise. I don't know if you've ever seen those movies.
I've seen
with Brendan Fraser.
The second one. Ironically, I've not seen the first.
Oh my gosh.
I've seen the second one.
I feel like the character of Evelyn is probably responsible for so many millennials going into librarianship.
Really?
Yeah, she's just so great in that role, and she really makes being a librarian seem, so fun and respected. And of course, she lands a very attractive husband in, Brendan Fraser's Rick O'Connell. So
very
let's go.
A good couple. But no, it is true though. That is kind of fun how in pop culture, in movies, in books, when a character is portrayed a certain way and it's portrayed in like a cool light or a great light, it does make people want to kind of follow suit with whatever profession they're doing, whatever their interest is. And so that can really make a huge difference, honestly, in someone's life, and it can influence them in a positive way. So I think that's amazing.
Going back to the more the negative version of it. So in It's a Wonderful Life, as we know, George Bailey makes like this, wish that he, wishes he'd never existed or whatever.
Yeah.
So then he is granted that wish, and he gets to see what it's like for the people in his life if he never existed.
Right.
And then when he sees Mary, who is the love interest, her life is so terrible that she is now a spinster librarian.
No. Oh,
yeah. So that's like the worst case scenario for her.
Imagine that being the worst thing ever. That's horrible. It really and truly, that would not be a bad life. So it's interesting that that's portrayed as like the end all be all.
I know. I always think that that's a funny representation.
Yeah.
Another great example is Flynn Carson from the Librarian franchise.
Okay, I have not seen that.
You have not? Oh my gosh. So good.
I haven't seen that.
It is so fun. If you have not seen it, the character of Flynn is selected over like thousands of other people to not just be a librarian, he is the librarian.
Now, who is the actor?
Noah Wiley.
Okay, I was gonna say I've seen like the covers.
Yes,
I've seen the covers.
They're so good. I love those movies. And again, it's portrayed as being a very adventurous career. He's out there traveling the world, doing these adventures and collecting artifacts and storing them at the library for safekeeping.
Important.
Like what a cool job.
That's cool.
And he's the librarian. And that actually spun off into a TV show.
Okay.
Where he meets other people who would have been candidates for the position if he hadn't been selected.
Oh, wow.
So then he works with them and they sort of like have all these adventures. It's a really good show.
And have a camaraderie. Okay, I'll have to
cute.
look into that.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'll have to put that on my to-watch list, as should you if you haven't seen it.
This was actually a really fun list I found on a website called lithub.com.
Okay.
And the article is called 50 Fictional Librarians Ranked. It's definitely worth a read. I learned about some other really cool representations of librarians that I didn't know. So now I have like a neat list of things to go watch and see how accurate they are.
Yes.
Or not.
Yeah, because it could be hit or miss. I think we've discovered that a lot with, the stereotypes that we talked about. Sometimes it does ring true. For some, not everyone. And then others are just like, what in the world? That doesn't even make sense. Not true, not legit.
Some of them we lean into the like ridiculousness of it, or maybe ridiculous is the wrong word, but like the cardigan thing and the glasses, and it's
but
funny.
Again, I say, who doesn't love a good cardigan?
True.
Honestly, I think they're stylish. I love them.
And you can get them in a variety of colors.
It's true, and patterns.
True. All right. Well, thank you for joining us as we debunked or proved some of these library and librarian stereotypes. So maybe the answer is for you to come on in and see for yourself.
Yes, exactly. So we hope to see you soon at the library. What does that smell like, specifically? Paper. I wonder what that would entail.
You could smell your paper.
It smells like paper.
It smells like paper. Who knew?